Welcome to the MLB Coast to Coast podcast. I'm your host, flying solo with Mo. Nate Weitzer on the East Coast here tonight, bringing you the Thursday night slate in the MLB. As always, please like and subscribe to the page, as we will be bringing you these videos every single weekday for night games, making sure we get them out to you with plenty of time. Check out the lines, the content we put out on thelines.com and playpicks.com every day, bringing you these picks. Mo is our headlines writer. And as always, if you do need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to ftpicks.com or dkpicks.com. Find those listings in your local area. Without Josh here tonight, we're going to go lightning round again, and it fits because it's only really a 5-game slate at night here. So we start off with the Mets plus 130 at the Phillies. Taijuan Walker making his third start of the year against Aaron Nola. I have a hard time betting against the Mets at this point. Walker seems like a very solid innings eater at this stage in his career. High ground ball rate once again. Not a lot of allowed contact thus far. I mean, you can kind of just lump it together with his numbers in 2021, which were pretty solid with the Mets. Slider kind of looking even better now to get more grounders. And Nola, while he's looking better than he has in a while, kind of makes me lean towards under 8 runs when I think about these two starters going up against each other. But if it goes down to the wire again, there's just some mojo with the Mets this year that makes me think they'll pull out a close game.
Yeah, I was wondering about the under 2. I'm definitely interested in it. Not a spot where I'm like, I have it circled or anything, but that's definitely the first thing that popped into my mind when I saw the markets for this game. Like you said, Walker, just a solid innings eater, although 15% swinging strike rate right now. So I don't know if he's doing something different. It looks like he's maybe changed his pitch mix. He's throwing quite a bit more splitters and cut the use of his sinker, which for most of these right-handed pitchers, I mean, just throwing these sinkers, it's an okay weapon for grounders, but other than that, it's generally not performing that well. So possible that Walker is maybe even a little better than the computers think. And Nola, interestingly, his velocity is down by a fair amount, I think, but it's just not mattering. I mean, he's just a guy whose secondaries are so good that he can survive a little bit of lost velocity on his heater. So how bad the Phillies offense has been at times this year, I'm maybe a little salty from today. Beat the market by 18 cents against the Rangers, and they could not score on Martin Perez. So yeah, I could definitely see under coming home here.
Yep, and if it's a toss-up game, yeah, you're getting that juice on the Mets on the road here into the short trip down to Philly, so why not? Then we got a pretty reasonable line here for the Twins, who are still playing the Orioles, looking to stay hot. And Chris Archer, I mean, the peripherals aren't really that great here as he makes his comeback, but is he just getting by on savvy at this point? I mean, he's got a 193 batting average against. He's stranding 93% of his runners and basically only letting up solo homers the last few starts. He's gone very short, but then transitioning to that Twins bullpen that seems a little underrated. Big part of their success recently. And Spencer Watkins with that 2.55 ERA kind of screams a little regression. He's still getting hit pretty hard, even though his velocity is up a little bit after last year when he had an 8.07 ERA. And you know that Orioles bullpen is not really coming to his rescue should he struggle early.
Yeah, I think you nailed it with the way they're using Archer. I really like what they're doing with him. They're only having him go like 3-4 innings and then turning it over to a guy like Joan Duran, Griffin Jacks, kind of their longer relievers, because Archer, he's just not a starting pitcher anymore in the majors. So getting 3-4 innings as an opener, like kind of like a longer term opener. I don't even know what you would really call it. It's like they do want him to try to get through the lineup twice, I think, but they're like not going to let him face the lineup a third time, which is sharp, especially when he's always kind of been a 2-pitch guy. So yeah, and Spencer Watkins, he might be the worst starter in the majors. I mean, he's basically getting by on a 2.11 BABIP right now. He's just subpar in every sort of way. You just don't see many starting pitchers who are projected. Like some of the computers have him around a 6 ERA. I mean, you can just throw any AAA guy in and they rate to be better than that. So he's still getting hammered. 90-mile-per-hour average exit velocity. No shot that 211 BABIP is any sort of reflection on anything good he's doing. So I just think with how much better the Twins offense is and how they're able to use these long relievers and use Archer as good as he can really be used, even at his mediocre talent level nowadays. I did have the Twins closer to minus 150. So I do think the opener that I saw around minus 130, which was only on FanDuel, so I'm not sure where it'll be across the market by the time people see this. But I did think that was too short. So I guess we'll see where the line goes.
Yeah, well, the Twins have been money against this Orioles team, which doesn't really hit either at all. So not like you can expect Watkins to get a lot of run support.
Well, they hit Bundy today, but, we can make an exception for Dylan Bundy since he throws a sub-major league quality fastball, I guess. So
hashtag former team theory there. And then we go out to San Diego, where the total is very low, 7 runs, with the Fish in town. They're slight underdogs at plus 115 to 110, depending where you find it. Jesus Luzardo against Nick Martinez. Luzardo's been having success here, mostly by attacking the zone. And the Padres, their average is below average, 234 against lefties, but a lot of pop, right, with the 740 OPS. I could see them coming up with a few big hits here. They've won 4 of their last 5. Those games have totaled 50 runs. And Nick Martinez is no world beater on the other end. I mean, he's kind of surviving on some luck here, getting hit to the tune of a 284 average, but at a 93 strand rate. I don't know if that's going to last. The Marlins offense has been pretty good lately. And even without Tatis, I mean, Machado is leading this Padres offense. So I'm thinking over 7 runs. I think that's a little low for this matchup.
Yeah, I'm. If I had to click a total, I would definitely click over in this game. But I'm more interested in a side here. I really like the Marlins. I did have this as wrong team favorite, honestly. So I had this one like close to a toss-up. But I do think you could even make a case the Fish should be favored here. I think I'm just so impressed with Luzardo. I just think he's been awesome so far and really have a lot of hope for him going forward, honestly. Just he was such an awesome prospect. And I'm trying to be a little bit conservative with how I'm projecting him, but it's getting kind of hard with how good he's been. I mean, 2.85 Sierra and 35.4 called strike plus whiff rate. I mean, that is just elite territory. The zone percent is still a little low, but I think it's honestly by design because he's firing 70% first pitch strikes, which is massive. So I don't think the Padres look like a particularly good lineup versus lefties. They have been very good so far, though. So I guess curious to see where that goes. But when I'm looking at this lineup, I'm seeing a lot of left-handed hitters. I'm not seeing a lot of right-handed hitters that are known for hitting lefties hard. It's mainly Machado. You got guys like Jurickson, Profar. Like he's got quite a split where he's switched, but he hits much better from the left side. And yeah, Nick Martinez, I'm curious to see where he goes too, honestly. So his call strike plus whiff rate is also really high. But at the same time, I'm kind of thinking he's still not a good pitcher at all and does not really belong in a rotation outside of like a spot start here or there. He's a 4.69 Sierra. People are squaring him up quite a bit. 16% barrel rate. That is pretty massive. And still too many walks. Walks not hurting as bad this year in a season where like people can't get a lot of extra base hits. So I guess that's something to keep in mind with some of these pitchers. But it's still potentially flammable, and I just think how much better Luzardo is and how the Padres without Tatis, it's not a scary lineup. So I do like the Fish at anything plus quite a bit.
Yeah, our darling Marlins, as we call them. But speaking of lefties, you got 2 guys who throw hard from that side of the mound, or Robbie Ray at least used to throw hard. Now he's throwing a little bit softer this year. We'll see how long that lasts. I mean, he was down to 92 early on, now climbing up to 93 on average, but still a 5.0 ERA over his last 4 starts. the batted ball data isn't that different, but his K per nine down 3.5 for 9 innings here. I think his breaking pitches might be some of that issue. It doesn't seem to be locating those as well. And generally, you just put the ball in play more. That's going to be more of a problem. You're not going to have that same elite strand rate. And then McClanahan, who is just elite here early in his tenure with the Rays, just the only thing that's bitten him has been the long ball, it seems, a 27% home run fly ball ratio. He's throwing 97 consistently, a 14 K per 9 ratio at 11 K his last time out. And the Mariners are somewhere about average at 20 to 25% on that K rate and hitting only about 215 against lefties. So I think we kind of lean towards the Rays if they're going to be able to make contact more consistently and given the state of these two starters, where they're headed in their careers.
Yeah, I was hoping I was going to like the Rays more, but unfortunately I did have this line about fair, but I'm honestly wondering at this point if I'm not giving McClanahan enough credit. I mean, he has been incredible. It's definitely possible that I'm being too conservative on like moving up his talent level. This guy has been absolute dynamite. And like you said, anytime your home run per fly ball is your biggest issue and you throw this hard and you pitch in that park, I mean, I think that it's pretty safe to say that number is going to come crashing down. I mean, especially like it's crazy this season to have that sort of number. I mean, the ball is not going anywhere. So just a pitcher this good to be running a home run per fly ball that high, I would say 0% chance that keeps up. So I anticipate a low 3s ERA from McClanahan all year. And yeah, Robbie Ray, he's still trying to ramp up. He's still not to a velocity where he's had success. So not a spot where I anticipate good things from him still until he starts throwing harder. I mean, I think we've talked about like almost all of his starts this year. And I think maybe the market's finally starting to adjust, but we'll see if the other side gets steamed again. Like I feel like the side against Robbie Ray has been steamed like every game because people are starting to figure out that this is not a velocity where he can have success.
Yeah, got to be able to miss bats to have success in this league, and without that velocity, he does not seem to be able to do that. That is all the time we have here for this Thursday night slate. Be sure to check back tomorrow for our Friday episode, and we will continue to bring you these videos each and every day, as well as NBA and MLB content on PlayPicksandTheLines.com. And as always, happy betting.